After giving my wife a second chance after her affair, I thought we had moved past it. Until I found her secret blog, detailing life with my pathetic husband. When I showed her, she smiled and said, "It's all true anyway." I shared the link publicly, tagging every family member, coworker, and neighbor, and disappeared from her life while she faced the fallout alone. I'm writing this because I need to let it out. No fluff, no exaggeration. Just the truth of how someone I loved gutted me in the most humiliating way, and how I made sure she paid for it. My name is Alan. I'm 47, from Albany, New York. I worked in civil planning for the state, nothing flashy, but it paid steady. I liked order, schedules, knowing where I stood. I guess you could say I lived a simple, quiet life. I married Melanie when I was 28. She was 25 then, full of energy, smart, always had people around her. I was quieter. I liked how she lit up a room. She said she liked how I steadied hers. For a while, that worked. We tried to have kids. After a few years of trying and a miscarriage, we stopped. She took it hard, but we didn't talk about it. That's on me too. I shut down. Just tried to stay busy. Kept thinking if I worked enough, time would heal things. But things don't heal on their own. And silence isn't love. Still, I never thought she'd cheat. But 2 years ago, she did. I found a message on her phone. Not even hidden well. A hotel receipt, then a message from someone named Marcus. "Last night was insane. Let's do it again." I clicked, and the messages opened up like a trapdoor under my feet. They'd been sleeping together for months. He was younger, ran some kind of creative agency. Gym body, tattoos. Everything I wasn't. I confronted her. She didn't lie. Didn't even try. She just cried. Said it was a mistake. That I'd pulled away. That she was lonely. That she didn't want to throw away our marriage. I should have left then. I should have packed a bag and never looked back. But I didn't. I wanted to believe her. I still loved her. So I stayed. We did counseling. She swore she ended it. She promised to be open. I forgave. I changed my habits, got more involved, even joined a workout class she recommended. I thought we were fixing things. She started smiling more. Touching me again. I really believed we were turning a corner. Then came the blog. It started with little things. She got secretive with her laptop. Closed it fast when I walked in. Cleared her browser history. She told me she was reading self-help forums. I wanted to believe her, but something didn't feel right. One night, she left her laptop open. She'd gone to bed early. I opened it. Didn't snoop for long. The browser was open to a blog platform. The title hit me like a punch to the throat, "Life with My Pathetic Husband." I clicked. There were hundreds of posts. All anonymous, but clearly about me. She never used my name, but it was unmistakable. She wrote things like, "He thinks we're rebuilding. Poor idiot doesn't see how weak he looks trying to win me back. It's hilarious. He joined a Zumba class. Zumba. Said he wanted to understand my world better. I almost peed myself laughing. If he tries to initiate sex one more time like he's some kind of alpha, I swear I'll scream." She mocked everything, my clothes, my hobbies, my job, the way I breathe when I sleep. She wrote about lying to me. How she smiled to my face and laughed behind my back. She even talked about my mom's funeral, saying she had to fake sympathy for the mama's boy. It wasn't just the writing. It was the comments. People followed her. Cheered her on. Called me names too. One said, "You're a saint for not murdering that oatmeal of a man." Another said, "Put the poor guy out of his misery." I don't remember how long I sat there reading. When I got to the last post, it was from the day before. She ended it with, "Sometimes I wonder how long I can keep the act going before I explode from secondhand embarrassment. He bought me flowers today." I almost puked. I closed the laptop. Walked into our bedroom. She was asleep, mouth slightly open, face relaxed. Peaceful. I stood there, watching the woman I loved humiliate me for strangers on the internet. Next morning, I put the laptop on the kitchen table. When she came downstairs, I just pointed to the screen. She glanced at it, sipped her coffee, and said without hesitation, "It's all true anyway." No panic. No shame. Just calm poison. Something inside me died then. I didn't fight. I didn't yell. I didn't ask why. I just nodded, took a shower, and left for work like it was a regular day. But I didn't go to work. I drove to a diner across town and sat with a notepad. That's where I started writing down names. Her friends, co-workers, her sister, our neighbors, the gym people she bragged about in her posts. I was going to show them all who she really was. For 2 weeks, I planned. I didn't talk to her much. I acted normal. Said, "Love you," when she left for work. Made dinner a few nights. She didn't notice anything. Or maybe she did and just didn't care. Either way, I kept my head down and pretended like nothing had changed. I made copies of the blog posts. Screenshots. Every nasty thing she'd written. I created a backup folder on a flash drive, just in case. Then I created an email account. One she wouldn't recognize. And I started sending links. One by one, I sent emails to everyone she'd mentioned in her blog. Her boss at the marketing firm. Her yoga instructor. Her sister in Syracuse. Her high school best friend. The HOA board president. I included screenshots and the blog link. The subject line said, "Thought you should know who Melanie really is." Then I posted the link on my own Facebook page. With one sentence, "My wife Melanie has been sharing her thoughts about me publicly for over a year. Here's the blog she never thought anyone would find." I tagged her. And I tagged her sister, her mom, her coworkers, our pastor, her gym, and a few mutual friends. I waited 5 minutes, then deleted my Facebook. Deleted all social media. Packed a single duffel bag. Got in my truck and drove 6 hours to my cousin Darren's place in Erie, Pennsylvania. I didn't tell her I was leaving. I just disappeared. Darren's an old school guy. Retired Navy. Keeps to himself. When I showed up on his doorstep, I didn't have to say much. He gave me a beer, pointed to the spare room, and said, "Stay as long as you need." That night, my phone blew up. 50 missed calls. Texts like, "What did you do? Take it down now. You ruined my life. Answer me, you freak." I didn't reply to a single one. By the next morning, my phone was dead from all the alerts. She tried calling from her work number, her sister's phone, even a blocked number. I never picked up. I heard from a friend, one of the few who stuck with me, that Melanie got suspended from work. Apparently, someone in her office found a post where she mocked a coworker's weight and another where she talked about sneaking wine into Zoom meetings during lockdown. HR got involved. Her sister unfriended her publicly and commented, "You need help." Her gym revoked her membership. A neighbor she gossiped about on the blog, Mrs. Calderon, forwarded the blog to the HOA. There was a neighborhood group chat meltdown. My friend said Melanie tried to play the victim, said I hacked her account and framed her. But the timestamps, the writing style, the references, it was all too detailed. Too real. No one believed her. A few days later, I got a single message from her. It just said, "Why did you do this to me?" I stared at it for a while. Then I deleted her number. I stayed in Erie for 3 months. Darren was quiet about it, but I could tell he was curious. One night while we were drinking on the porch, he finally asked, "You ever gonna tell me what she did?" I just handed him the flash drive. Told him to read the blog if he wanted. He never said anything about it again. Just started leaving 2 beers on the table instead of 1. I thought that'd be the end of it. That I'd just fade out of her life, and she'd deal with the mess she made. But Melanie wasn't done. She filed a missing person report. I got a call from an Albany police officer. Said my wife was worried. Said she reported me missing and was concerned for my mental state. I laughed. First time I had in weeks. I told the cop I was fine. That I'd left on my own. That I wasn't in danger, and I wasn't coming back. He asked if I wanted to file for separation or divorce to make things official. I said I'd think about it. A few days later, Darren found a letter on his porch. No envelope. Just folded once, with my name on it. It was from Melanie. She'd driven to Erie. The letter was short, handwritten, shaky. "Alan. I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. I was angry. I felt empty. You didn't deserve it. I thought humiliating you would make me feel better. It didn't. Please come home. I love you. Melanie." I stared at that paper for hours. And then I burned it. A week later, I got a call from her mom. This was the twist I didn't see coming. She told me Melanie was in therapy. That she was on leave from work. That she was staying in their guest room. She said Melanie wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping. She said she was scared Melanie might do something drastic. "She's not right," her mom said. "She's never been this low. I think she finally sees what she did. Maybe too late." I wanted to feel something. But I didn't. I wasn't cold. I wasn't angry. I just didn't care anymore. One afternoon, I got an email from a guy named Scott. Said he worked with Melanie. He wasn't one of the people I had sent the blog to. He said he stumbled on the link weeks after the fallout and had questions. He told me they had an office happy hour a few months before I left. Melanie got drunk and started talking. Bragging. She told a couple of them that she had her husband wrapped around her finger, that she was writing a blog just to blow off steam, and that he was too pathetic to ever leave. Scott said she laughed when she said, even if he found it, he'd probably apologize to me. That last part hit hard. Scott ended his email with, "She fooled all of us. I'm sorry, man. I really am." I didn't reply. But I saved the email. Not because I needed more proof. But because it reminded me who she really was. Another month passed. I got a job doing delivery work under the table. Nothing fancy, just enough to cover food and gas while I stayed with Darren. He never asked me for a dime, but I didn't want to feel like a burden. Then I got another letter. This time in an envelope. No return address, but I recognized her handwriting right away. Inside was a check. $10,000. And a note that just said, "I owe you more than this. But it's a start." I stared at it for a long time. I didn't cash it. Just tossed it into a drawer. A week later, Darren's wife called. She was staying with her sister for the week, but Melanie had shown up there looking for me. Said she looked tired. Pale. Said she cried, said she just wanted to talk. Darren told her to leave or he'd call the cops. She left. But now I knew she wasn't giving up. A day later, I got an email from my boss back in Albany. He was a quiet guy, didn't get involved in drama. But he said he thought I should know. Melanie had come by the office. She told him she was trying to make amends. Asked for my schedule. Said she just wanted to see me. He didn't give her anything. But he warned me. Something had changed. It wasn't about her being sorry anymore. It felt like desperation. That night, I made a decision. I went back into the blog. It had been taken down weeks ago, but I had it all saved. I copied the whole archive into a PDF. All of it, every post, every comment, every timestamp. I included Scott's email. I added a short statement of facts: when I found the blog, how she reacted, how I left, how she tried to contact me. Then I contacted a divorce attorney. Told him I was ready. I had one condition: I didn't want alimony. I didn't want the house. I didn't want anything. I wanted the judge to see the file. I wanted it entered into record. Not for revenge anymore. Just so the truth lived somewhere official. The attorney asked if I was sure. Said with what I had, I could take a lot more. Half the house. Maybe more. But I said no. I didn't want her money. I wanted my dignity. A few days later, Melanie called Darren's landline. He handed me the phone. "You don't have to," he said. But I answered. "Hello?" She went quiet at first. Then, "Alan. Please. Just listen." I didn't say anything. "I know you hate me. I hate me too. I'm sick. I know I am. I don't even know why I wrote those things. It was like I had to perform for people. Like I needed someone to laugh or else I'd fall apart." I stayed silent. She kept talking. "I lost everything. My job. My friends. Even my sister won't speak to me. But I don't care about that. I just want to make it right. Please, just tell me what to do." I finally said something. "You can't make it right." She started crying. I hung up. 2 weeks after I filed, the court date was set. Melanie tried to delay it. Her lawyer claimed she needed more time for emotional recovery. My lawyer pushed back, showed the court her past blog posts. The judge wasn't amused. He kept the date. The day of the hearing, I wore a plain gray suit. I hadn't worn it since my mother's funeral. I sat quietly while my lawyer submitted the files. Melanie walked in wearing black. No makeup. Her eyes were swollen. I almost didn't recognize her. She looked hollow, like someone who hadn't slept in weeks. Her hands shook as she sat across from me. When the judge asked if I had anything to say, I kept it short. I trusted her. I forgave her. I stayed. And she used that time to turn me into a joke for strangers online. She didn't just betray me in private. She made my humiliation entertainment. I'm not here to punish her. I just want to be done. Melanie's lawyer didn't argue much. What could they say? When it was her turn to speak, she stood up and looked right at me. I was cruel. I was arrogant. I was wrong. I took everything good and ruined it because I couldn't face my own emptiness. I blamed him for what I hated about myself. And when he still loved me, I hated him even more for it. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want him to know, I see it now. She broke down in tears. I didn't. The judge granted the divorce. No contest. I waived my rights to the house, to the accounts. He entered the blog file into the record. It's there now, buried in court documents. A permanent truth. Afterward, I walked out into the parking lot. She followed me. "Alan," she said. I turned around. "I don't know how to live with what I did." I nodded. "You'll figure it out." She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. Then I got in my truck and drove away. It's been 8 months. I'm still in Erie. I found a full-time job at a distribution warehouse. Simple work, good people. Darren checks on me sometimes, but mostly leaves me be. I rent a small apartment now. Quiet place. Feels like mine. Melanie tried calling again a few months ago. I blocked her. She sent one last letter. Said she was selling the house. Said she was going back to school. Said she was in therapy 3 times a week. Said she still dreams about me. I burned that one too. Here's what I've learned: you can love someone with your whole heart, but if they don't respect you, it doesn't matter. Forgiveness without change is just more pain with a smile. I gave her a second chance. She used it to sharpen the knife. So I walked away, and made sure the wound she gave me never got to hide. She wanted to turn me into a joke. But I made sure everyone saw the punchline. And I left her right there, in the silence that followed.